Man, I was only going to share what I had just discovered. Chrissy Lampkin did Jim foul, and not just any foul. I'm talking about a betrayal of the highest magnitude. He lost $7 million, but it wasn't lost or misplaced. It was simply taken from him by the woman he was about to contact, his wife. And the worst part is that Jim only recently put everything together. Now he's crazy and out pacing like a storm about to explode. Flipping chairs, slamming walls, and leaving Chrissy with just one dry-ass text. No tears, no explanation, just a damn. The most outrageous part is that she didn't do this alone. Someone from Jim's own inner circle assisted her in planning it. Yes, when money is involved, blood isn't thicker than paper. A reality TV show? Imagine waking up and discovering that your entire life was a trap and that this rabbit hole is deeper than you believe. Imagine Jim pacing his apartment at 2 in the morning. Where did that money go? You're going to throw your phone across the room? No cap. Forget cheating. The only light in the room is the TV, which is hilariously airing old Love and Hip Hop episodes like some twisted joke. I'm red-eyed and sweating, my fists clenching and unclenching. When Chrissy disappears without a sound, sign, or farewell, Jim heads to the safe, and this is the turning point. When he opens it, everything is gone. Not just the money is missing, but every contract, USB drive, and cash stockpile are gone, save for one item. A single gold bracelet that Chrissy left in the center. A stamp akin to her signature, as though she were confirming, yeah, I did it. Jim falls to his knees, breathing heavily, as if he were about to lose it. He phones her and leaves voicemails and texts that are never opened, because you want to know. What was on those USBs that went missing? Who had access to his tour earnings, a full cryptocurrency wallet, and the sole copy of a deal he was negotiating? To launch a TV program under his name? That's a digital punch to the stomach worth $2.5 million, you know? But wait, tit gets worse. 2 hours go by. Jim's phone rings, and he receives a message saying, check your email. Don't call me. He opens his inbox. And then there's a video attachment with shaky footage that seems like it was captured by A. You saw Chrissy all 3 days ago. You'll be shocked to see someone wearing a black hoodie sneaking inside A. It's Miami hotel suite while someone else pauses and zooms in. Jim initially believes his eyes are playing tricks. But it turns out that Zeke is indeed departing for days after Jim's day one dipset brother, one of his realists, leaves. Hours later, Chrissy is giggling while holding a big folder with Zeke and a full backpack. At that moment, Jim's phone falls out of his fingers and hits the floor, shattering trust like glass. Isn't about money anymore. It's about treachery and family. It only gets worse from here, since this is the lady he trusted picking a bag over the man who gave her his entire heart and boss. The names are as apparent as day in this screenshot of a legal document, even if the confidential seal is slightly veiled. Jim Jones, Lampkin, Chrissy, and a third name that nobody anticipated, Angela Reyes. Who TF is she? Was Chrissy's ride or die back in 2012. And when she disappeared, there was no fallout, no farewell tweets, no drama. She was simply erased from Chrissy's life as if she had died. The social media detectives didn't wait. They went full CSI. There were rumors that Jim had crossed the line back then, but no one knew the whole truth until now. Since Tweet 4 was the bomb that opened the internet. It's a distorted but genuine voice note, and Chrissy's voice bursts. Through crying, he believes, I am cruel, but he forgot what he did to me, to Angela. I never forgot. I only waited for the right moment. And then it dawned on me that this was gradual retaliation, not about the millions. While viewers are still processing the Angela narrative, another clip surfaces. And then another explosion occurs. Cold Chrissy didn't steal to harm his wallets. Instead, she struck where it would bruise his soul and make him feel abandoned and helpless like she previously did. A week prior to Jim's widely shared Instagram Live, screen capture of the studio's surveillance tape shows Chrissy entering alone and departing with a laptop. Not just any laptop, but Jim's main vault, which contained his unreleased tunes and contract folders. Everything is gone, but the studio log reveals that the door was unlocked using a keycard belonging to Fracasecki once more. The internet is going crazy over the Chrissy versus Dr. Teen matchup. Jim is now formally comment. Sections during wars become battlefields. She finally stood up for herself, and you guys are furious because she planned this for years. Jim broke her first, and she just changed the rules. You thought that was the conclusion, but nope, enter Zicky. That's Dipset treason. Jones, Mama, I told my kid years ago not to let a woman handle your bread, but he was in love, and love makes fools. Jim's mother appears on Instagram Live with his hair covered in a robe and his Bible open on the table, delivering the sermon of the decade. As she looks into the camera, her voice breaks. You now appear broke and ashamed, and the person who did it sat in my house, grinned in my face, and lied shamelessly before pointing directly at the screen and saying, Chrissy, you're watching. Bring back what doesn't belong to you, because God doesn't play about stolen blessings. Suddenly, the media has gone crazy and the feeds are overrun with gossip blogs. TMZ publishes a false headline, and an insider says the FBI would intervene if nonprofit funds were misappropriated. She's done this, and if they link it to a foundation, it's federal time now. Ignore reality TV in prison. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, a confirmed ghostwriter in the music industry who is notorious for leaking receipts tweeted, "Y'all aren't ready for where Chrissy really wired that 7. It's not who you think it is, Mowers, and it's going to get really ugly when it drops. It's just pure suspense, no name, no evidence, followed by radio silence. Chrissy deletes all accounts. Gone 3 days in a row with no communication on the gym. Social's not a breath, not a post, the silence is louder than the drama." And everyone is waiting and refreshing their feeds to know that this isn't over. Then, just when the excitement fades for a moment, Chrissy makes a single post again. It's a photo of her red-handled hand with no apology or statement, just fire. Caption, "Don't blame the wolf when you taught the snakes how to hiss." Ah! Boom, another. Grenade dropped millions of likes in an hour without names or denials. Just a warning, and then came the main shock. The image shows nails gripping a pen and a stack of bank statements in full view. One tweet read, "You guys think Chrissy just snapped. Has been building since 2012. Another tweet included a grainy image of a legal doc and 3 names. The strange thread after another, resembling a Netflix documentary in text form. Jim Jones is visible. People begin to inquire, who the hell is Angela? In reference to Chrissy Lampkin and Angela Reyes. Then it dawns on old school fans that Angela was Chrissy's best pal back then. I didn't take the money to hurt him. I did it because he never apologized for what he did to her. So now it's not just him. She disappeared without posting or saying goodbye. Chrissy's voice is purportedly from a leaked voicemail that went viral. It wasn't about the millions. It was about shattering Jim where it affected him, the most his pride, his authority, his reputation, and just when it couldn't get more damaging, security footage reveals that Chrissy was spotted entering Jim's secret studio. She leaves 40 minutes later, holding his laptop, the same one that has unpublished music contracts in her hand. Using Freaky Zicky's keycard, the door to the crypto wallets was opened? Yes. This is Jim's own pet brother. At this point, it's an open conflict with the streets picking sides. Cancel Chrissy trends. Chrissy starts to trend more, and then the woman who ate at my table grinned in my face and lied to my son about touching that. Foundation Money and Blood is an example of Mama Jones going live without any glitz or filter. Opponent, she says a scary line to terminate the live stream. Chrissy, may God deal with you, because I'm done being nice. When a blogger reveals this teaser, everyone is shaken. I know where the money went and who Chrissy paid off, and it will ruin someone. The timeline freezes. Fans suddenly stop breathing, and Chrissy vanishes from social media. Her account is gone, and there are no more postings. Jim remains silent. But that silence is shouting, and the internet doesn't simply react, it erupts within minutes of Chrissy's disappearance. Began to fly like shrapnel. Chrissy was conned. To push Chrissy's name through the digital muck. Jim Jones's Dipset drama she acted on Twitter was filled. Clubhouse rooms were reopened. And people were picking sides like it was World War I instead of engaging in debate. Like clowns, we shared her proposal when the female Frank Ocean vanished after dropping heat. But in this instance, the heat was a heist. The viral tweet said that Chrissy wasn't just stealing from Jim. She also took from all of us who believed in love. Years ago, the famous shade Camilla liked a post that said, "This is why you never put your woman on the paperwork." She also tweeted a popcorn emoji. Additionally, Fat Joe uploaded a mysterious video stating, "You guys keep producing these aims of people's relationships even if Cardi B jumped in, writing money and doing crazy things. I'm trying to tell you that this Hollywood love isn't meant to endure." However, when it's your own man, that's different. Meanwhile, the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and gossip blogs went into full-on overdrive. Each city released unique insider information asserting Chrissy had spent months organizing the vacation. Believing that the purchases in Dubai were a part of a financial escape strategy, and she had no intention of marrying Jim. She just wanted to take advantage of him and disappear. Then came the phony audio leak. A voice message purportedly from Chrissy to her cousin appeared saying, "Let them talk. I don't owe the world anything. I did what I had to do." Fans, you had to steal 7 mailers. She was betraying power like a ghost, and Jim's silence only served to highlight this. Fans went crazy for Jim's villain arc whenever he tweeted a blank screen or a Drake quote. And now he's going to release a disc album called Stolen Hearts and Wire Transfers. Even streaming services, including Spotify, chipped in and added ballin to their feelings of betrayal. Instagram sites featured fictitious wedding invitations. Talkers created skits depicting her breaking into the studio, and the most outrageous part, a shift. The org petition began obtaining a Steam title, forced Chrissy to reimburse not because they wanted justice, but because they felt duped as well. Hundreds of fans signed it. This wasn't just Jim Zell. The public was devastated, and with each minute of silence from Chrissy, as the dust began to settle and fans believed they had seen the worst, the mythology of her betrayal continued to grow. Late at night, a final twist struck like a bullet. An anonymous Dropbox link began to circulate on Reddit, Twitter, and Discord under a folder named Proof She Wasn't Simply Put. It contains screenshots of voice recordings and money transfers. But the big bomb is a comprehensive NDA signed by Chrissy Lampkin and someone no one anticipated. That's right, Mr. Killa Ham Dips. The internet is going crazy because the man who created it with Jim, General bled Harlem with him. And now, the contract reveals that he earned $450,000 sent from a disguised LLC, the same one connected to Chrissy's offshore account. Cameron knew about it. All of this was an inside job, and now that it's over, people are starting to connect the dots. The cam stopped showing up with Jim months ago, and there have been no shoutouts, events, or collaborations. Not only did Chrissy Jim's heart, but she also shattered his circle. The one man was overturned. Jim didn't anticipate this, but this is where things go south. Chrissy was never going to pay me what I deserved, so I grabbed it, and Cam promised to keep Jim busy while he waited. One of the voice notes that was leaked shows Chrissy speaking to someone on speaker. What diverted their attention? Then came the final drop, the largest one yet. An low-resolution picture that was clearly taken without their knowledge showed Chrissy Cameron, and a third person at a rooftop bar in Dubai. The third person was Angela Reyes, who was indeed alive and at ease. Jim was just the piece being moved, and he was smiling while sitting next to Chrissy as if they were catching up over cocktails. Then fans flatlined. No, don't tell me that they were all in on it this whole time. Was a long-running scam? Not. Payback. Across the board, but just as the internet erupts, Jim finally says something in a single Instagram story that contains only one image and no words or emojis. Jim's bloodshot eyes, clutching the missing laptop, zoom in on a yellow sticky. Note in the table's corner as he returns to the studio. The internet is wide awake now, and the fans are glued to the screen because this story is far from over. 4 words written in big red, the screen went dark. There was no caption, no sound, no follow-up, just quiet. Treachery, you witnessed the internet breakdown over $7 million that simply disappeared as if it had never happened, and you heard the leaks. Jim's circle is in shambles. His trust is non-existent, and Chrissy didn't leave the game by herself. She ghosted it with backup Cameron. We must now consider whether it was always part of the plan, or if Chrissy was merely picking up the pieces that Jim left broken 10 years ago. Let's be honest. Some of you have already experienced this. Angela is a squad of quiet and shadows. Inputting. Justifications like, well, Jim had his dirt too. However, if you think this chapter was crazy, wait until we release the file. The real question is, who is the villain here? Tell me in the comments without any sugarcoating or filters. Word on the street doesn't just burn, so Chrissy neglected to remove the one Jim teased. This drama is just getting started, so remember to hit that subscribe button if your jaw drops at least once. Chrissy, it flips the entire script. The bell. As the upcoming episode may, they don't want you to see them. See you when the truth comes out in part 2. Don't merely irritate the scars.